everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Drunkard's Walk. I am Jethro Nolan, one of your two hosts, and it's a delight to have you here once again. And thank you for allowing us into your ear holes. Along with me on this merry jaunt through Wikipedia, I have my delightful co-host, Mr. Matthew Hartman.
Hi, Jethro. Did you say
Hello.
It's good to have you ear?
I did say that.
Because they're listening?
I did say that because I was thinking ahead to that thing about being in their ear holes, and I got carried away with how clever I was, and my mouth did not provide the correct sound. So my apologies. In fact, we should probably call it a day and just end the podcast in its entirety right now.
No, Jethro. I need you to be here, buddy. Because I'll tell you, man, it's been a crazy week.
Oh no! Did you have another adventure last week?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. You sound rather despondent.
Well, here's the thing. So me and a couple of friends, actually three friends, went on a little trip because we found out that someone had died, had been accidentally killed near where we live, in Oregon.
Bit of a downer, but okay.
It was, but we needed to see this dead body, and so we took off, and we ran into a lot of crazy. There was this mean old junk man and his dog, and there's these leeches that got on us, and we grew together a lot. You know what I mean? We really, I don't know, what would you say? We kind of we were
leaned on each other.
No, we weren't leaning. We were upright the whole time, next
upright
to
Citizens
each other.
Brigade.
Yeah, no, definitely not that.
I know. Stand and deliver. That's what you did. You stood and delivered.
No, that was a couple months ago that I did that.
I thought it was a whole Back to the Future thing where you were repeating.
Yeah, the same thing again. No, it's a different thing. Well, anyway, I'm glad to be here, doing whatever it is we do. What is it we do again? We
go from one Wikipedia page to another through the links in Wikipedia.
Right.
And we try to find the shortest route possible, Matt. That's what we do here.
Oh, okay. And we've done a pretty good job of that lately. We've been turning in some really short little walks. I mean, we're talking.
I feel like we're due for a really long one now.
Well, we did have that L to the foot. The foot discoveries that
the
like
Salish Sea foot mysteries or whatever.
Yeah, the foot mysteries. That was a weird one. That was a weird one, but that took us a while. So we didn't. Not all of them have been perfect, but our average this season is 6. Huh?
That's not bad. That's respectable.
I would expect it to be lower than that with all of our 4s and 3s and things like that, but no, it's a 6. So there you go. So keep that in mind.
So Matt, I have a question for you. I know that we know where we're starting because that's where we ended last week. And right. I'm very hopeful that the person who's providing us with our destination is not the guy who got hit by the train that you mentioned, the dead body you would see. Is there a different person who's providing
There is someone else. Actually, it's the other person that's on the call here with us. It's Chris Mathieu.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
howdy.
How's it going? Hey, there he is.
Hey,
there
Matt.
he is.
Hey, Jethro.
Hello there.
It is great to see you, man. We haven't seen each other in a very long time because we met doing, this will surprise no one, we met doing improv in Washington, D.C. I know. This was back when we were doing comedy sports in Washington, D.C., back in the early mid-2000s.
That's right. That sounds right.
Mid to late
2007 to 9-ish or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Was it really only 2 years? Gosh, it felt like
it was a jam-packed 2 years, buddy.
It was. We did not only did we do the improv, we did a bunch of like film stuff together as well, as I recall.
Films, yeah. We did a lot of crazy stuff, you and I. Oh, by the way, it's Stand By Me, guys. Stand By Me is the name. Look,
is that
I
what
know I'm ruining this
movie?
I have to say it.
Did What Happened to Me sound like something you saw happen in a movie?
I was over here. I'm so furious. So furious.
Don't be furious. Don't be
Stand
furious.
By Me.
Be hilarious.
All right, I'll be hilarious.
Thank you.
There you go.
I'll be hilarious.
Yeah, we did a lot of crazy shit together, and then you left. And you
I did.
journeyed off to La La Land. How's it going out there?
Packed up my old 2000 Honda Accord, and I took the 3-week drive across the country.
The JSS Mathieu, as I recall.
It's going well, man. I've been here for almost 15 years. Isn't that crazy?
Holy cow. How's that possible?
It feels like a long, long time. It's been great. It's been like life in general, filled with ups and downs and a lot of in-betweens.
Yeah. What are you up to these days? Like, what are you doing out there?
What am I doing? I'm doing a lot of everything. As most people, after the last couple of years, I'm trying to be a human in the world again.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
So working full time. I work for a YouTube channel, a digital media company.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. Do you want to?
So you're in the biz.
Do you want to tell us which one, or do you want to plug that, or is that more of a let's not say the name?
No, I'll just let people find it.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
No, it's actually a wonderful YouTube comedy company called Smosh. And they have multiple channels, and they do funny comedy videos and ridiculous personality-based stuff. It's great. And I do, I'm the branded guy, so I do branded partnerships for them.
Nice.
But it's a wonderful place. And yeah, I do that, and then do some music and some acting and improv stuff when I can.
Yeah, that's right. You released, how many albums have you released now? At least one.
Well, so I've done a couple of my own stuff, albums of my own, but then my lovely fiance and I also write and record production music. So we work with some really talented fellows that produce production music that plays in TV and film. And we have written quite a handful of songs that get played all over the world, which is really cool.
That's amazing.
Very nice.
Is Mr. Dinerstein involved with that in any way?
He is not. No, he is not. Although that's a good guess because he lives in that world as well.
Yeah.
But not in this particular case. Although we've done a couple of things together.
So the listener out there, where would they have potentially heard something that you've recorded? I mean, I have your album, The Seeker. I enjoy that quite a bit. I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, that's my own stuff. Some of the let's see, we were on a show called Sweet Magnolias on Netflix. Had a song called Here for You that played on that. Nice. We have a song called Things I Love that played in a very popular apparently Turkish rom-com called Love 101, because out of nowhere we started getting hit up by all these Turkish fans, which was just a really unique experience. that was something. But just what else do we just kind of all over? You get every now and again, we're part of ASCAP, which is a if you know music and ASCAP BMI. We're part of ASCAP, and every month or so we'll get forms that tell us where all the music's been played.
Nice, very cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I love it.
That's played all over the world.
And then an old Comcast commercial, right? That's where we should
an old Comcast
try to find you as well.
An old Comcast commercial from about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
That was the fun one.
I remember seeing that and being like, that's that guy I know.
That's exactly right. I actually did a little episode of NCIS LA a couple of months ago, which was fun.
Did you?
I did. That was a blast to get to watch that.
Yeah.
And occasionally, stuff pops up and
little things here and there. I love it, man. I love it. It's awesome to see you. Chris is one of the funniest people that I've ever met in my life. So when he left Comedy Sports, it was a major blow to us, I have to say.
I feel the same way about you and everybody that we used to get to play with there. Because that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yep.
That was good time. And now Matt and I are opposite ends of the country, and this is the most I get to play with you. So
this is it.
I'm not gonna give my thing because I just want to talk to you for 3 hours. So this episode is going to be us talking for 3 hours and dancing. I heard that I'm allowed to dance on this.
You are allowed to dance, yeah.
It is one of the few dance podcasts out there where we just have audio of people dancing and no visual element whatsoever.
I have been doing some stretching and some routines all day to prep. So.
Now, just to be clear, though, we don't have the rights to any of the music, so we don't play music during the dancing either. We can play it, but we can't broadcast it. So it's just the sounds of your feet.
It's true.
I'm sorry, what?
So you're going to be able to listen to music if you want, but only on your headphones, and then you dance, and we just record the sound of you moving.
Oh, okay. Willing to give it a shot.
I mean, I don't know. You wouldn't.
If you guys are down for that. That's not normally how I work, but
I don't know how else you'd do it.
Well, typically when I go on a podcast, I get to play whatever music I want, and I dance for roughly 45 minutes or so. And then they broadcast the entire thing. I'm pretty sure that's how podcasts work.
Seems ridiculous to me. I've listened to
a lot
couple
of
podcasts. Yeah, I mean that's
there you go.
You're talking specifically about This American Life. See, we're not This American Life. We are a different podcast, so it's going to be different.
Got it. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know. I thought this was This American Life.
We're in our 6th season, and to our great shame, we have yet to solve a single murder. So that's how bad of a podcast we are, is that we haven't even broached the subject.
I'm happy to tell you how Stand By Me ends if you'd like. I can totally do that.
It's not really much of a murder mystery, as I recall.
Yeah,
but
I guess not.
I don't know. I just lived it. I've never seen it. I don't know what it's about.
It's true.
Well, Chris, we really appreciate you being here. I love talking to you, but we do have to get a destination from you to journey off in some way or another. And of course, we'll talk to you a little bit about it. So why don't you tell us, where are you sending us this week?
So I am sending you to the Wikipedia page of baleen.
Baleen?
Like baleen whale?
There it is. Baleen.
Yeah,
baleen.
Sure. The stuff in their mouth, right?
That's right. It is a food filtering process in the mouth of a baleen whale that allows them to take a big swig of water and then push all the water out, but keep the krill in their mouth for food.
Wow.
I was racking my brain yesterday trying to think of what I would tell you. Mm-hmm. And then my fiance and I do a trivia thing that happens on the daily. And one of the questions had to do with that. And from the recesses of my brain, it wasn't even really, the description wasn't that descriptive. I just repeated myself. But from the recesses of my brain, they were looking for the part of a whale that did a particular thing. And I just shouted, baleen! And it came out of nowhere. And I probably only remember it from a book I read about whales when I was a small child.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that you did Learned League.
Yes. Oh, you know what I'm talking of.
I do. I do Learned League as well. I answered that same question just the other day.
Yeah.
So
my fiance does it and I do it.
We're clearly in different rundles, but we're nerds. But.
Yes, I'm definitely in a different rundle.
Yeah.
But that's
I'm in level D or something like that. I mean, I'm not high up, but we're like, they're in different. There's like hundreds of different rundles all over the country and things like that. So
exactly.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I love that you do that. And that's awesome, because as soon as you said it, I was like, oh man, I just did a trivia question about baleen.
That's really nice. Funny. That's really funny.
That's amazing.
I should have thought of that before I gave you that.
No.
But hopefully it'll get you there. That was the one thing. The other, can I give you the other option that I was going to give you, but it's obviously not in play now?
I mean,
sure.
Yeah, you can tell us.
I was going to say, because you mentioned, maybe something to do with you. I was going to say dulce de leche, which is my favorite food product of all time. But I felt like food might be a little easier to get to. So I wanted to challenge you with.
I don't know. Well, we did, had it been last week, it definitely would have been, because we started with green eggs and ham. So it would have been no problem.
Got it.
Because they're basically the same thing. But instead, baleen is what we're going to. And those are two very different things. I mean, those are like on opposite ends of the spectrum, I would say.
Yes. And I don't know if a whale has ever consumed dulce de leche using baleen to do so.
I'm sure there's a very happy whale in the Gulf of Mexico that has managed to scam some dulce de leche off of a cruise ship or something.
Oh man, I like Jethro. Jethro.
It is possible. It is possible. Me too. I think that Jonah actually ate a lot of that. And so he, in a way, the whale got it, but it didn't have to use the baleen, because it was more of a...
I feel like, I don't know if you've read the full Jonah story, but
yeah, no, I haven't.
Jonah did not get digested by the whale. So I feel like anything that Jonah ate cannot be counted as consumed by the whale.
Right, because he and Jiminy Cricket start the fire and then the whale spits them out. I forgot about that part of it.
Sure.
Is this also Stand By Me?
Yeah,
this is all. It's all part of it. It's all part of the. All of those universes are connected.
The By Me universe, the Bymiverse.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
The Pinocchioverse. This
is great. So I love this suggestion. I don't know how we're going to get there from the IBM 650, but there's got to be some sort of connection because that's what Wikipedia does. It gives you connections that you don't expect.
Yeah,
it is a gigantic network.
It's very cool.
We'll get there.
It's very cool, and I love that you guys do this, and I'm a fan. So
awesome.
Kudos to you, and thank you for letting me be on to give you a clue.
For sure.
Or a destination.
Yeah, thanks for doing it, and congratulations to you and your fiance for your impending nuptials, as people say. And
thank you, and don't fear, my pal. We are doing a very tiny family wedding. Otherwise, you would be there in a heartbeat.
Oh, I see.
Thank you.
Why would I be afraid of a tiny wedding? I don't understand.
I was very worried why I hadn't received an invite.
Yeah, I was talking to Jethro.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm his +1 every time, so it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Great. You know what? Expect an invitation in the next week.
There we go. Perfect.
I've been married long enough. I've been married long enough, to never go to a wedding with your wife. Like you, it's never. Yeah, always take a buddy.
I think it's a good idea. In fact, I think you guys got to do this show live from the wedding. That's what we'll do.
I love it.
Done. We'll send the contract.
That's right.
Give it to the day of planner. They'll know.
Get those green M&Ms ready because we have quite the writer.
Perfect.
Well, thank you, man, and I hope that I see you again soon. I hope it's not another however long it's been because it's been too long.
Absolutely. Let's make that happen.
Good stuff.
All the best, guys. Have fun.
Cheers.
Take
care.
You.
Cheers.
All right, Jethro.
Baleen.
The IBM 650 to Baleen.
Baleen.
Don't go any further than that.
That is a solid Weird Al Yankovic Dolly Parton parody that is waiting to be written.
What is he waiting on there?
I feel like
around for a while.
I feel like Weird Al's been too tied up in this whole Daniel Radcliffe biopic that's happening.
Oh, sure. That's probably true. All right. Well, we have to come up with. Well, first of all, I'm having a drink, and we have to come up with a prediction. I don't know which one to do first. I'm too excited. It's like
let's drink first and predict second because drinking only makes your predictions better.
Amen.
That's what I've heard.
To that. Well,
what are you having there? Oh, I see her drinking out of a Drunkard's Walk tumbler. How does a person get a Drunkard's Walk tumbler?
I don't know. I bought it. How do other people get them?
Isn't there? I feel like plugging our Patreon here, but we clearly
that's not on our Patreon.
It's not. Okay.
No, that's not one of the things you can get from our Patreon. Though we could add it, I suppose.
Okay. I feel like there are certain people who've been patrons that we should be rewarding with one of the rare. You know what? I tell you what. Just whenever you see Matt or I, just slip us a C note. Mm-hmm. And we will make sure that 6 to 8 weeks later, you get a Drunkard's Walk.
Actually, I would say if you can tell us the secret phrase, then you will be in the running to get a Drunkard's Walk rocks glass. But you have to say it to us face to face. You can't email it to us. You can't text it. You got to say it face to face. Or at least over Zoom. I'll take over Zoom because that's kind of face to face, and some people don't want to. It's the phrase that pays. Yeah. So you gotta. And that secret phrase is. Are you going to tell them? It wouldn't be secret if I told them. Oh, right. Oh, it does it have something to do with Baphomet? I don't know. I don't have a secret phrase in my mind. I figured you'd come up with something because you're an improviser. You said it with such authority that I thought you had one already. I was like, all right, so it's Baphomet me to the next Pliny the Elder, something. All right, so that's it. There you go, folks. So anyway, we got off on a tangent because you're drinking out of a Drunkard's Walk rocks glass. What is the beverage inside that rocks glass? This is Paddy's. Irish whiskey. I'm drinking an Irish whiskey tonight because I wasn't sure if I'd ever had it on the show before. And if I have, great, because it's a good Irish whiskey that is very inexpensive. So try it out if you like Irish whiskey.
What a delight. That is fantastic. I applaud you, sir. I myself am having a boxed wine, a Pinot Grigio, with a little ice in it because, again, if the careful listener remembers from last week's episode, I did the exact same thing. Well, guess what?
You did.
That box of wine, still not cold.
You should have put it in the refrigerator or something.
In hindsight, I realized that's why the refrigerator is there now. I should have put it in there, but
I'm just happy to hear that your house didn't burn down. How did that all work out?
Well, sadly, it burst the box of wine that I had, and that put out the fire. So that's.
Oh, I see. So this is actually a new box of wine. You were just playing.
I had to.
You funny.
I don't know if you know this, but wine and fire, despite the fact that they sound great together, actually make a terrible combination. It ruins both the wine and the fire.
Oh no, that's upsetting.
It really does.
Well, Jethro, I'm writing down a number now as my prediction.
Are you now? Are you?
For our trip from the IBM 650 to Baleen, that which a whale uses to eat their din-dins.
Please don't eat all of my krill.
All right, I just changed my guess because I wrote down something. I've scribbled it out. I've written a new guess, and I have underlined the new guess so that you know.
I see how it works now. I see the trick that you're doing. Okay.
How is it a trick? We haven't started doing anything yet. Why is me changing it a problem?
Okay. I get it. All right. Okay.
I'm going to the page for the IBM 650 now. Oh, it's just IBM 650. It's not the IBM 650. I'm learning. And there we are, IBM 650. Are you there? Have you found it?
Oh, I'm here.
All right. So,
and I should point out, so there's off to the right here, there are two pictures. One up top is a color picture of the IBM 650. And directly below that is an IBM 650 at Texas A&M University, which is my alma mater.
Oh, well, you have another connection to the IBM 650 now.
I would be shocked if so this is apparently at the Cushing Memorial Library and Archives. Now, I don't know if that's probably where the picture is from, the origin of it. But whatever building at Texas A&M that is in, I've probably been in that building.
Do you think they still are using that computer to process student records? Like that? Or they were when you were there, probably, right?
I think that's a hilarious Jethro is old joke, which bravo, well done.
No, I'm actually commenting on the fact that, I don't know about you, when I started college, everything was when you did your scheduling, you were still doing it all on paper. Was that not the case for you?
So when we did our scheduling, we had to dial into a phone number.
Oh, yeah, I guess we did do a phone number. You're right. Yeah, it was on a phone system. But, I mean, that could be, those computers could be hooked up to phones. No, probably not. All right, never mind. It's not true. It's all not true. But my point is that it felt very, compared to how things happen now, it feels very old.
I remember before I started at A&M, I went on a tour on some, nerd weekend thing.
Sure.
And they showed, the Cray supercomputer that was there. So they definitely had technology that was more advanced than the IBM 650.
Okay, well, there you go. It could have still been alive somewhere. You know what I mean? You like to think that somewhere in some, I always felt that there was some place at Penn State where, in the basement, there was stuff from, the 1920s still going on. You know what I mean? I just believe that that's the way college campuses were, that buried deep enough, you found stuff that was, super old, still going on.
Yep. So I will say this, that...
What do you want to say?
The first IBM 650 was installed on December 8th, 1954 in the controller's department of the John Hancock Mutual Life Insurance Company in Boston.
Oh, John Hancock, sure.
So John Hancock, first of all, signer of the Declaration of Independence, shout out. Also, improviser we know from Arcade Comedy Theater, shout out.
Different guy, but yeah, okay.
Different guy. But also, isn't there an insurance company that has a whale as part of its logo? I think it's Pacific Life or something.
I mean, I don't know which one it is, but I can picture that it's breaching, like a blue whale or something like that coming up.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that does sound familiar to me. Or maybe it's a humpback whale because it's got that kind of pointy snout, I feel like. Yes, that does sound familiar. I don't know which one it is.
Very tenuous possibility.
Yeah.
I grant you.
Nor do I know if that would be a very good connection for us. But I like where you're at. I like the way your brain's working. Because there's not a lot of other things on here that get us into anything like that. Everything is, computer.
So I will say this. So again, there's a lot of fascinating pictures down the right-hand side, including another picture at Texas A&M University.
Wow.
Of the IBM 650. So clearly, they shut your mouth.
I wanted
so there is a picture at the National Museum of Science and Technology in A Coruña, which is in Galicia, Spain. But there's also a classroom at the Bronx High School of Science. Now, the Bronx High School of Science, Bronx Science was, or rather is, a famous science magnet school in New York City that has had more than its fair share of famous scientists. And there's also a science museum in New York City, I believe it's the Museum of Natural History, where famously in one of the rooms, they show like a squid and a whale fighting.
Oh, okay.
And I know this from the Noah Greenberg film or Noah Baumbach film, The Squid and the Whale.
Yeah, The Squid and the Whale, right.
But if we can get into the New York science or even just the science world, we can get probably into biology and or marine biology.
Well, so here's the thing.
Which sadly we can't do through Texas A&M, even though Texas A&M has a Galveston campus with marine biology, which I went there on a 9th grade trip, and it was crazy because some of the girls and some of the boys ended up doing some things during that trip, and some of the people got in trouble, and it's, high school kids, look out.
They're the worst. So here's what I'm going to point out is that at the top, the very first picture is part of the first IBM 650 computer in Norway, and it was known, first of all, as Emma, so I have to point that out. But there is a link in that description to the Norwegian Museum of Science and Technology. And I feel that Norway is pretty well known for being one of those countries that did a lot of whaling back in the day. So I wonder if the Norwegian Museum of Science and Technology might have some information about the science of whales.
It's possible. It might. Now, let me ask you this question. Have you ever heard of the Norwegian Museum of Science and Technology prior to our discussion moments ago?
No, I have not. Absolutely not. No, 100%.
So that's a bad sign right there. Whereas I have heard of Bronx Science previously.
Yeah, but this is Norway, which is like right on the ocean. Like we could even get there geographically if we absolutely needed to. Right.
So first of all, I think that it is settled law on the podcast that the geographic route is frowned upon.
It is frowned upon, for sure.
Whenever we take it, we get a lot of hate mail from the listeners. We were like, you bastards, why did you do that?
They get angry.
Because they rely on us to take them on an adventure.
They do.
And also, I feel like Bronx Science, again, like Nobel laureates went to Bronx Science.
Yeah, but why is that going to get us into Wales, man? I mean, first of all, you just want to stay at home. You just want to stay in the U.S. I want to go on the adventure to Norway. Come on, man, Norway.
Okay, so
Norway.
Believe me, I want to go.
Norway.
Name a single distinguished Norwegian scientist. I'll wait.
Sven.
Okay.
I mean, come on, that's got to be true. So
I feel like you could be a bit more specific in nailing down.
Oh, you need me to be specific. Hey, if you don't know Sven, then you don't know shit. All right.
Yeah. I mean, we can go your way if you want, but I feel like Bronx Science.
Fine, we'll go your way. And the only reason I'm going to go your way is because I know that I'm always wrong. So fine, let's just go to the Bronx High School of Science, which is not going to. This is not going to work out well. I'm putting my foot down. I'm putting my foot right down.
All right. I love you continually say, well, we'll go your way, but only so we can show how wrong you are. And then it generally turns out right. All right. So
last time you said that IBM was going to be on that page and it wasn't. So you were wrong. So just saying.
But I got us there quicker and gave you the victory. So
but you were still wrong. So
you're welcome. Anyway.
Thank you.
So we've got the Bronx Science is a public magnet specialized high school in New York City, New York, operated by the New York City Department of Education. There are links to Nobel laureates here, national medals of science, mm-hmm. eight Nobel Prize winning alumni, 7 in physics and 1 in chemistry.
Are any of them whales?
Neither of them are
How many of them are whales?
0.
0 whales. So what you're telling me is this is not very helpful.
It thus far, mm-hmm. and granted, I haven't read the rest of it, but Bronx Science alumni have won 2 Turing Awards. But there is a link to Nobel laureates, and Nobel laureates, I don't know if you know this, going to include a lot of science folks. Although I don't think there's a Nobel Prize for biology.
Yeah, I don't think there's
medicine, physics, and chemistry. I don't think there's one for biology.
Yeah, I don't understand how it would even help us to get to Nobel laureates. And
Charles Darwin is linked on here.
Yeah,
that gets you to Wales.
What?
Oh, you're too good for Darwin, are you?
Why would that get you to Wales?
It's biology, science. Boom, bing, bang, boom.
I like that there's a whole section here on publications. One of them is the Biology News and Information Center, or Bionic. No links to the words biology department. No links. 0 links.
That is disappointing. I will say that.
Northern Exposure is linked in here, as is Head of the Class.
Wait a minute. Northern Exposure gets us to Alaska, which gets us to, you guessed it, Wales.
You said you didn't want to go a geographic route, so get out of the city right now.
All right. I will say that Head of the Class, Howard Hessman and Billy Connolly as an AP science or AP history teacher.
Yeah,
big fan of that show. Big fan.
Oh yeah, me too. I just went back and started watching it again a couple months ago on, I don't know, one of those channels that like lets you watch stuff for free, but there's commercials. I don't remember what it is. It's on my Roku.
Oh, you have a Roku.
Roku. There is a link to Marvel Cinematic Universe. Are there any whales in there? I feel like there could be a whale.
Gosh. I mean, I don't know if I've seen every single one of those movies, but I've seen most of them, and I'm struggling to think. You know what's? I'm surprised that you haven't brought up yet.
What's that?
Is Star Trek 4,
The Voyage Home?
In The Voyage Home, in which they, I believe, have a whale-related incident.
Oh, for sure. Yes, they have to take humpback whales back to the future. Back to the future. And what? So Ronald Reagan. But anyway, I didn't see a way to get us there yet.
Yes, that is true.
It's got to be in here somewhere, though. I mean, come on. Star Trek connects to everything, so it's going to be here somewhere. Oh, I do see at the bottom, there is a New York City articles thing, and there's an environmental issues in New York and the environment of New York City. I mean, environmental, maybe, possibly. No, that's not good. It's New York City. Shut up. That's a bad idea.
Do you know? Are there whales that are native to the New York area?
Yes. Some of them are. That sounded
exceedingly unconfident.
That's true. They play a lot in Atlantic City in New Jersey. They're whales.
Yeah, I remain unconvinced.
Well, continue to be unconvinced, my friend, because it definitely isn't true. I just don't see anything in here that's going to help us, man. I don't know where to go out of from here.
I feel like Darwin is a great place to go.
Darwin.
Why on earth are you giving the heaviest, groaniest sigh of all time to the man who spawned the theory of evolution?
Well, first of all, he's not solely responsible for that. And second of all, because I don't think that it's going to relate to whales in any way.
You don't think evolution talks about whales?
Sure, evolution does, but Darwin didn't study whales. He studied finches. He studied all sorts of stuff that First of all,
I will say that whales
No
and
whales.
sea mammals in general, have an amazing evolutionary history. First of all, there were land mammals that were like, fuck this.
Yes.
I'm going back in the ocean.
I know.
And they became sea mammals. That is incredible. That is amazing.
Hey, you know what's linked on here is athletic nickname. Are there any whales, any school mascots that are whales?
I mean, I don't know about school mascots. There's like I believe there's an old defunct, and this is me being a John Hodgman fan that, although not clearly a good enough fan that I remember it fully, but I believe there is an old defunct hockey team called the Hartford Whalers.
Oh, that's absolutely true. Yes, they are now the Carolina Hurricanes.
Another place we could go to, and again, not that I know what the correct route is, but if we could get to like Herman Melville,
oh sure,
we can get to Moby Dick, and whaling through that.
I see advanced placement is in here, and I know that I read Moby Dick in AP English. So
you're the one.
Yeah, I'm the guy. I mean, I didn't read it. I didn't actually read it. I read parts of it. There's no way I read the whole thing, though.
Nobody did.
That was a lot of work trying to get through that bad boy. A question just came up about that on Learned League as well, about Moby Dick.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Nobel laureates as a possibility. Although again, because
I like Darwin better than that.
Yeah. All right. So Charles Darwin. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go to Charles Robert Darwin. I didn't even know that was his middle name.
There you go. Charles Darwin. And by the way, the link here for those of you following along is under the history, under move to modern facilities.
Yes.
There is a link there talking about a Venetian gloss mosaic mural overhead depicting major figures from the history of science, such as Marie Curie and Charles Darwin. Under the protective hands of a godlike figure representing knowledge. Mm-hmm. And this quote from John Dewey: every great advance in science has issued from a new audacity of imagination. What a beautiful way of saying. Bravo, John Dewey. Bravo.
Yeah. He knew what he was speaking. He knew how to put those words together.
Indeed, he did.
All right. So when we get into Darwin, of course, we do start to see some. There's Lamarck. Remember, we talked about Lamarck a couple weeks ago.
We did, that bastard.
I see taxidermy. I see rainforest. What I don't see so far, and I'm not very far into this, is anything having to do with sea mammals. But whales.
Where?
Wait. It's the country Wales. WA.
You bastard.
Yeah.
You did that on purpose.
The HMS Beagle is on here. Now that was in the ocean. Ooh.
That is true.
I see marine invertebrates on here and also plankton. Now plankton doesn't really help us, but krill are marine invertebrates, I think. Oh, krill. Yeah, they're marine invertebrates.
But don't whales eat plankton?
I think they eat krill more than they eat plankton, but they might eat plankton.
I mean, I feel like they open up their fucking mouths and whatever gets in there, gets in there.
Yeah, well.
Whatever that isn't filtered out by the baleen.
Yes. Well, no, actually, well, yes. What's filtered out is what they eat. So mammals is on here, of course. Coral reef. I see marsupial rat kangaroo.
Mm-hmm.
Wink, wink. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, a little bit of rat kangaroo, if you know what I'm saying.
I got you.
Hippopotamus is on here. Capybara.
So a hippopotamus,
yes,
is the type of creature that eventually evolved into or has a common ancestor with the whales because they like hang out in water most of the time, and eventually like a hippopotamus great grandfather was like, screw this, I'm never going on land again.
There's a link here for pigeon fanciers.
Ooh. Pigeon fanciers.
Gosh, if that's not a down the rabbit hole, I don't know what is. I wish we could follow it. We can't because it's not going to help us. But pigeon fanciers. Gosh, I didn't even know that was a term.
There you go.
Apparently it is. Marine invertebrates are back again. Barnacles are on here.
Mm-hmm.
There's just biology, but I feel like that's getting too general compared to some of these things.
So let me throw out a possibility here. Charles Darwin, whose page we are currently, was
We are. Yes.
most famous for a little book called On the Origin of Species.
Yeah.
So Darwin, a lot of this is biographical information on here, whereas I feel like if we were to go to On the Origin of Species, we would be getting into more evolutionary information and the detail of that. So I feel like that is one possibility that gets us out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I am much more inclined to go to something like mammal or plankton or marine invertebrate that are very specific things that are related to the thing that we're actually going after. I feel like On the Origin of Species is going to give us a lot of different paths to go down, but none of them are going to be quite as helpful or as quick to the point as any of those other ones that I just mentioned. What do you think?
I mean, there's a certain superficial appeal to that.
There's inbreeding on this page too. Ooh.
That's exciting. But we are not going to the British royal family, so I don't think that appeals.
No, actually, it says the Darwins had 10 children, 2 died in infancy, and Annie's death at the age of 10 had a devastating effect on her parents. Charles was a devoted father and uncommonly attentive to his children. Whenever they fell ill, he feared that they might have inherited weaknesses from inbreeding due to the close family ties he shared with his wife and cousin, Emma Wedgwood.
Yep. So I think that the sort of, is it first cousin or
I don't know. It's not very clear.
So
and I didn't want to go down any deeper, to be honest.
The problem, well, that's not what Charles said.
Hello.
Hey. So I think that they did the math between like risk of inbreeding and
first cousin.
Percentage of your genes that get passed on. And I think that third cousin is the sweet spot for maximizing the percentage of your genes that get passed on, but minimizing the risk of inbreeding problems. So,
yeah, it says, as I'm mousing over wife and cousin, it links to cousin marriage, a marriage where the spouses are cousins. The practice was common in earlier times, continues to be common in some societies today, though in some jurisdictions, such marriages are prohibited.
Mm-hmm.
More than 10% worldwide are between first or, and then I can't read the rest because it's gone.
Yeah. Well,
so there's some information that you didn't expect to get on this particular episode.
There's a lot of really sexy cousins out there, Matt.
It's weird to say.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
Okay. So you like plankton?
I like plankton. I like marine invertebrates. I think maybe even a little bit more than plankton.
Really?
Yeah, because while I think that whales eat plankton, I'm not 100% sure, whereas I'm certain they eat krill, and krill are marine invertebrates. So that's why.
But isn't that another link?
So krill could actually be, I guess, plankton. So there's 2 different types of plankton, right? There's phytoplankton, which are plants, and zooplankton, which are animals. Mm-hmm. And I guess krill might be zooplankton. That it might be that they are of the same thing. So perhaps plankton is a good path in which to follow.
Yeah, I mean,
mammals also though too. I mean, oh wait, there's a link to dolphins and whales.
Is there now?
Well, it's the evolution of cetaceans is down here at the bottom in the purple. The evolution of cetaceans.
In the purple?
Yeah.
In the purple?
Yeah.
All the way at the bottom?
Purple. Yeah, evolutionary biology. And then there's of taxa, and one of them is dolphins and whales, which links you to the evolution of cetaceans.
I'm not seeing it.
All the way at the bottom area. Evolutionary biology. Unhide that.
Okay.
Do you see where I'm at?
I see where you're at.
And then of taxa.
And sorry.
Go of taxa.
Under his eye.
TAXA. Go over there and you'll see that it's in there. Actually, cetology is linked in here too, which is Whale lore, a branch of marine mammal science that studies the approximately 80 species of whales, dolphins, and porpoises. That is also linked on here.
I mean, I feel like the
evolution is better than the study.
I'm still not seeing the evolution.
Where
so it's under evolutionary psychology?
No, evolutionary biology.
That explains why I wasn't seeing it. Aha. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So the evolution of cetaceans.
Yes. Which are whales and dolphins.
I like that a lot.
You like that a lot?
I like that a lot.
Then let's do it, man.
All right. So it's under evolutionary biology of taxa and the dolphins and whales link. And here we are.
Yeah, it takes us to evolution.
Yeah.
Cetaceans. Cetaceans. Okay, I got it. Spelling that is a challenge, but I got it.
Here we go.
So how's it looking? I haven't looked at the page.
First of all, it's a nice substantial article. There's a lot of heft going on here. So there's a lot of interesting things here about various dolphins and whales. And whoa, under the section evolution of modern cetaceans, I see baleen whales linked here. And there is in fact all modern baleen whales or mysticetes are filter feeders which have baleen linked in place of teeth.
So here's what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Also, they frequently use the IBM 650.
Do they?
Incredible. It's incredible that's linking it.
Still using it. Here's the weird thing, though, Jethro. You move too fast because in the second paragraph on this page, it says the presence of baleen in baleen whales occurred gradually. And baleen is linked right here in the second paragraph. So
look at that.
But I want to point out that you were absolutely correct about your cetaceans are thought to have evolved during the Eocene or earlier and to share a relatively recent closest common ancestor with hippopotami. So there it is, just as you said. But baleen is here.
I mean, that's one of those fascinating things to me. It's like when you first found out that dinosaurs turned into birds, and we all did from Jurassic Park, but it's like one of those things that blows your mind.
Yes.
Like, how is this possible?
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
ridiculous.
I agree 100%.
But yeah.
So there you go. There it is, baleen, a filter feedering system inside the mouths of baleen whales. Baleen. I can't wait to learn more about what they actually eat, but before we do any of that, I don't want to explore too much because if for some reason, once again, as I mentioned last week, if we had a tie, we would have to go through and actually try to get here faster than each other. So let's take a look at that. Took us, just so you're aware, IBM 650 to Bronx High School of Science to Charles Darwin to Evolution of Cetaceans to baleen, 4 links. So there you go.
That's incredible.
Last week, as you recall, I guessed 4. This week, I originally guessed 4 and then started doubting myself, crossed it out, and guessed 6.
Really? Well, Matt, believe is all I have to say. I guessed 4.
Oh, you did it. I should have just stuck. One of the reasons I changed it is because I was like, well, I bet Jethro will guess 6, and at least we'll have a runoff if we're not right. But no dice. You guessed 4. It's the exact opposite. Didn't you guess 6? Oh, no, you guessed 5 last week, didn't you?
I guessed wrong last week. Is what I
know you did, but I'm just saying, I thought we had just flipped, but we didn't. I guess 6, and so I'm wrong.
So does this tie us up for the?
Let me take a look. Let me see.
The season thus far?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 for you. That's it. We're tied 7-7.
So next week is the tiebreaker.
It is. And you know what, folks? Usually we only do 15 episodes in a season. This season, we're going to give you 16 episodes because we've got to break the tie. And we've got to get back to where we started, right? Which was Big O notation. So we'll be heading from baleen to Big O notation next week. See if we can do it. We can, right, Jethro? We can.
It's not. We haven't always. And I will say that big O notation is a pretty small bullseye.
It is. And I don't remember anything about it, and no fair looking stuff up during this week.
I might have to reconnect with my old friend Brett Baber.
No.
Check in with him and see how he's doing.
No, sir. You have to go in blind just like me. I mean, you remember more than I do always anyway, so I'm sure you'll be fine. But there it is, my friend. 4 links. Once again, it did drop our season average to 5.857.
There we go.
So we'll see. Maybe we can get it all the way down to 5. That'd be impossible. But hey, we'll be back next week for a final episode of season 6, and we hope that you'll join us.
Cheerio.
Hey everybody, Matt Hartman here again for Drunkard's Walk. A big thank you to Jesse L.E. for our theme music and Nick Jaramillo for our artwork. A big thank you to you for listening to Drunkard's Walk. We have 1 episode left here in season 6, so we really hope that you'll join us next week. And if you get a chance, give us that rating or review, walk on over to our Patreon and join us there. And just generally stick around because we like you and we hope you like us. Take care.